So, guys, the Jeffrey Epstein files have finally been released after years of people waiting. Um, People basically got no life. You shouldn't care about this type of stuff because, bro, this is expected. What else do you think's going on behind the scenes in rich people's families and devil worshipping families? Obviously, this was expected. It was also expected that a lot of famous people and rich billionaires would have been around him, uh, doing this type of stuff, into what he's into. You know what I mean? 'Cause at the end of the day, bro, they have to do what you get me. What like make sacrifice to the devil, rituals and that. So if that includes like uh having young girls do mad stuff to them, then guess they'll do it, innit? Anything for the money. Um, Also an interesting fact, which also proves that um Islam is the truth. It also proves that these men were doing some mad rituals. Jeffrey Epstein actually bought a piece of the cloth from the Kaaba, which is like the holy place in Islam, and which is like the purest bit, like it's like a cloth of how can I explain it? It's just a cloth, and it's meant to represent purity, right? And they need something pure and holy, and there's nothing else in the world that is holier than that. That's what they're trying to say, basically. Because if so, something in Christianity, he would have got that, used that. You know what I mean? And also, guys, if you didn't clock, there's no Muslims in the Jeffrey Epstein files. There's Israelis, there's Jewish people. Pretty sure Epstein was a Jew himself, was he not? Um, like there was a lot of stuff included that other than Muslims, bro. So how can you ever say talk bad and down on the Muslim people, bro? You get me? But we're gonna get into this Fezivai video. I haven't watched it. It just come out. It talks about the Epstein files and how it's got exposed, and it's exposed the richest billionaires, names and proof revealed. And guys, leave your comments like what do you think? Because you know how long they took to release it, bro. Like, don't you think like there was stuff about Trump maybe that these man wasn't that they had time to take it out and like edit stuff, and you know what I mean, like so much foot stuff I'm sure that was there that they couldn't really show. They had to take out. That's why it took so long, bro. Like, why couldn't they just release it? It's not that deep. But instead, bro, what Trump promised, it was part of his campaign to release these files, but why did it take so long, bro? You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna get into this video. This is Prince Andrew, by the way, guys, bro. The royal family was literally involved in this, bro. Prince Andrew. I think he got like stripped of his prince title, but yeah, he's literally part of the royal family, and he was there doing weird stuff on girls, bro. You get me? Obviously, the girl's face is not there, but apparently she was a young girl.
With no bullshit and no clickbait, we're actually going to get to the bottom of these Epstein files in this video and go through some of the most richest and powerful men in the world, emailing him and what they actually said. So let's get into it. In late 2025, under the second Trump administration, Congress passed and Trump signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, mandating the Department of Justice to release the relevant unclassified records, millions of pages and batches, with a major drop of 3 million pages coming, 180,000 images and 2,000 videos on January 30th, 2026. These are publicly available on all different websites where you can view them, and there's still ongoing investigations and privacy attached to some of the stuff on there. Which is quite frustrating because there's people in here that belong in jail, but there is a lot of privacy attached. But still, we're going to piece together some of the most powerful people in this video. And as more privacy gets wiped from this and more files come out, more people will be getting exposed.
I just found some more insane emails in the Epstein files. And once again, I'm asking, why is this redacted? Donald Trump, his FBI, his Department of Justice are protecting bad men who did bad things with Epstein. This is an email that was sent from somebody, we don't know who, to Epstein back in 2013. It says, new Brazilian just arrived, sexy and cute, 9 years old. What? Why is their name redacted? Why don't we know who's saying this?
First of all, the name's redacted because you don't want to know a 9-year-old. No one wants to know that. Obviously, people want to know, but it's you have to protect the identity of some people, especially if they're vulnerable, such as a 9-year-old. Obviously, she's probably way older now, but still, at that time she was 9, so I don't think it can get revealed. But yeah, that's mad, bro. They brought Brazilian. You think like, you know, a Viva Street Brazilian thing, you get me, old enough. Man says 9 years old, bro. These men are dealing with 9-year-olds, fam. I don't know what's going on in this world, bro.
haven't they charged this person? You know, Trump and his team have said there's no evidence that Epstein did anything wrong with anybody else. We're looking at...
By the way, Trump and Epstein were very good friends, fam. And in my opinion, yes, obviously Epstein's not here no more, but I think Trump still has some respect for him. Like, Trump's a weirdo, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised like, if he's like hiding stuff just to not make Epstein look as bad as he should look. You know what I mean? Even though it's bad enough, but there's probably way worse things that he probably hidden. You never know, bro.
The evidence. It's right in front of our faces. I also talked about this email yesterday, 2014, from somebody, again, the name is redacted, to Epstein. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. They're saying the crimes. They're saying it out loud.
Bro, what?
Doing it. And Trump's DOJ doesn't have any other evidence of other people doing bad things. Why are these names redacted? In my view, the only explanation is that Donald Trump and the people around him are protecting the rich, powerful men who committed crimes alongside Epstein. Once again, they are saying it in text, and they're not doing anything about it.
We have flight logs and travel records where Epstein had a list of high-profile passengers. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. There's email and communication.
Bill Clinton was the ex-president, and apparently even Elon Musk had communication with Jeffrey.
On there were people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and Epstein's address book contained dozens of entries of prominent names. And you will know at least one of these that we're going to speak about in this video. So what?
That's his wife, by the way, who was also involved into manipulating girls into coming. Because obviously, if a man's telling you, look, listen, I got an island for you, come here, you're gonna think, bro, that's a bit dodgy. But if there's a woman saying, yo, listen, you're gonna be given money, this is gonna happen, just come through. You're gonna believe it. You're gonna feel more comfortable rather than another old man telling you this. You get me? So obviously he used his wife as bait, basically.
The fuss about? Well, let's get into this and break down some of the most powerful and richest people on this list. We're going to go through a few names in the Epstein files in detail and their association to him. One of the most hated men of all time, that is Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Gates has spent many of his years alive as the richest man in the world, the founder, the owner of Microsoft, the infamous Microsoft Tech, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft even having the brand Xbox that is well known. What was his association to Epstein? And the confusion around STIs being caught from women. Bill Gates' interactions with Epstein began after his 2008 conviction in Florida for soliciting a minor for prostitution, where he served that 13-month prison sentence. Despite Epstein's criminal history, many high-profile individuals continued to associate with him. So that was in 2008. In December 2010, Bill Gates emailed about a potential dinner with Epstein, but citing a scheduling conflict, expressed hope for a future meeting, indicating early curiosity about Epstein's work. Bill Gates actually met with Epstein on January 31st, 2011 at Epstein's Manhattan Tower House. The introduction came via the Gates Foundation official. Melaine Walker, a neuroscientist who had previously worked with Epstein and an associate of Bill Gates, a science advisor. Gates later emailed colleagues describing the evening, noting he had stayed late and found Epstein's lifestyle very different and kind of intriguing, although it did not work for me. Shortly after, the two were photographed speaking at a private TED conference in California. An October 2011 email was referenced Gates to Island, but Gates has denied ever visiting Epstein's infamous private island, Little St. James, insisting his interactions were limited to dinners.
Yeah, I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was
Bill Gates denying that he's been on the island, but there was literally an email with a subject of Gates to Island.
he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him. No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
Between 2011 and 2014, there was regular meetings. Over this period, Gates and Epstein met multiple times, often at Epstein's New York residence. Photographs and emails confirm in-person encounters, and Gates flew on Epstein's private jet at least once, though a spokesperson claimed Gates was unaware of the plane's ownership at the time. Epstein pitched a donor-advised fund to Gates in 2011, proposing to use Gates' money alongside contributions from other billionaires, facilitated by JP Morgan for global health projects. On August 11, 2011, an email from Epstein to JP Morgan executives described the fund as allowing Gates to access higher quality people investment allocation without upsetting either his marriage or sensitive of the current foundation employees. Gates supported the idea in emails, calling it potentially a great thing. In February 2014, during this time, Epstein also mediated more with the Gates Foundation, with Gates emailing thanks, stating, "I don't know how to say it strongly enough." Their exchanges included lighter topics like bets on currency performance and social plans, and a 2014 unpublished magazine profile where it alleged that Epstein advised Gates on expanding the foundation's influence. By December 2014, the fund plan stalled, with Gates emailing Epstein that it won't come together with 4 to 6 partners anytime soon. Epstein later complained to an acquaintance that Gates had stopped talking to him. Gates' team reportedly realized Epstein's proposals were not legitimate, leading to complete discontinuation of contact. In January 2015, he emailed Gates and Gates Venture CEO with a cryptic message about not not running for office in September 2015. He inquired about Gates' availability in New York in 2017. Epstein texted Walker offering inside baseball for Gates' meeting with Trump administration officials in 2018. Epstein mentioned sending Gates a message about a meeting in February 2019, months before his arrest, and he told Walker to remind Gates he owes me a call, though Gates only inquired about Epstein's well-being without further engagement. The specific allegations when the Epstein files come out is that Epstein emailed himself in January 2013 with draft letters addressed to Gates though never sent. One draft claimed Gates directed the deletion of messages about contracting a sexually transmitted infection, an STI, and requested antibiotics to secretly administer them to his wife. Well, his then wife, Melinda French Gates.
Hi, Jeff. It's your friend Bill Gates. I had a great time with the Russian girls. Any advice on how I can treat Melinda discreetly in case she gets a case of the old commie cooties?
Bill,
Yes, Satan?
you're supposed to be depopulating the planet like I told you.
All right. Anywho, gotta get back to ruining the planet. By the way, have you tried lab-grown meat? Hopefully not.
Another alleged Epstein sought Epstein's help to elicit tryst with married women, obtaining drugs to deal with the consequences of having sex with Russian girls. And since the new release of the
Bear in mind, guys, Bill Gates is like was the biggest, richest person. Like before, I think he sold Microsoft or something. But yeah, bro, it just shows you like, bro, my man was in touch, linking up with literally the most richest man on the planet. So what does that tell you, fam? What you think none of these men can deceive little girls, bro? They probably deceive thousands, bro, that you're probably not even gonna hear of. And the ones you're hearing of, they're even the ones some are too shy to come out. You know what I'm trying to say? Too embarrassed. There's enough girls that already came out, so obviously a lot of people, I'm just gonna leave it, move on from it. They don't want their name out in the public and that. But obviously the ones that did complain did obviously get justice, because at the end of the day, apparently he hung himself. But I don't know if that's believable or not. I heard America just killed him, or someone just killed him, innit? Because apparently there was CCTV in his cell, and they malfunctioned that day or the day before. Yeah, crazy.
files, his wife has actually done an interview and addressed some of this stuff, which is really interesting.
The elephant in the room at this moment, your ex-husband, Bill, is named in the newest tranche of Epstein files. And there are a new alleged details about his past behavior. And I want to give you the opportunity to respond in whatever way you want to.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that.
But Gates had called this absolutely absurd and completely false, noting they were unsent drafts by Epstein. There was an alleged affair claim Epstein emailed Gates in 2015 requesting...
Well, you reckon Bill Gates was mashing work, or what was he doing, fam? Because all this contact, even his wife is saying she went through trauma. He definitely was doing a mad thing, fam. In my eyes, innit? And even in her eyes, bro, why would it be an ex-wife, bro? She says she went through pain around that time, and she's probably talking about how Gates was too involved with Epstein.
Reimbursements for costs related to a Russian bridge player whom Gates had an affair with in 2010. Sources suggest the email implied Epstein knew of the affair or could expose it. A Gates spokesperson denied any financial dealings and described it as an extortion attempt. An unnamed individual texted Epstein in November 2017 describing Gates as a strange behavior guy and always drunk, and hinting at a potential legal action for unspecified conduct. The text later expressed fear, saying Gates seems bigger than the police and justice system.
But he's talking about having more money than he knows what to do with, and how he can compensate Bill freaking Gates. And he's like, luckily I'm in a position to compensate you, which begs the question of how much money does Jeff Epstein have or had? Because it's Bill freaking Gates. And he mentions how Melinda does not want.
1 second, let me just what did Jeffrey Epstein do for work? Just so we know, innit? Because, brother, how's he got his own island, fam? And how's he in contact with all these billionaires, bro? He was a financer, consultant, and money manager who built his fortune by providing tax, estate, and financial planning services directly to billionaires and high net worth individuals. Okay. So what made the billionaires like him so much? Just because he knows how to deal with their money and stuff? Like, what? Makes no sense. But maybe, yeah, the networking and stuff, like, you get me, probably just a likable character. And, yeah, I guess, when they found out what he's actually into, some rich people, bro, they're really into that stuff. You never know, you get me? And, yeah, they're with him, fam, saying, yo, because we're rich, we're never going to get caught doing this stuff. Let's just do it, innit?
Bill around, Jeff. This is from 2013.
I literally, like, what happened to P. Diddy, bro? But on a bigger scale, because look at the people. Obviously, P. Diddy had certain names in there, but, bro, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, Prince Andrew. Like, bro, they're way bigger names, fam.
And then the real juicy part is to add in, I'm going to read this straight from the email. To add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your P word, surreptitiously giving his wife medication, is really suspect to me. I mean, the whole thing is, but this is the guy that wanted everyone to, get the Rona vaccine. Surreptitiously give to his wife. Huh. Obviously, this is just Jeffrey Epstein's email, so who knows? But wow.
The files also reference Epstein's broader claims about simulating pandemics or depopulation plans, with some ex-users linking Gates to being pro-vaccine. So Bill Gates has consistently said that he regrets the Epstein Association calling it a huge mistake driven by misguided hopes for fundraising. In the 4th of February interview that was just released, he said, it's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island, I never met any women. So the more that comes out, the more it will be clear. Although at the time it was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior. He added, I was foolish to spend time with him and apologized for every minute spent with Epstein. A Gates Foundation spokesperson reiterated after the release, the claims are absolutely absurd and false. The only thing in these documents demonstrate is Epstein's frustration that he did not have an ongoing relationship with Gates. Gates even himself described the meetings as quite stupid and limited to a few philanthropy discussions that yielded no result. The revelations have personally affected Gates' ex-wife, Melinda French Gates, who cited the Epstein Association as a factor for their 2021 divorce in a February 3rd, 2026 interview. She described this files as invoking an unbelievable sadness and very painful times in my marriage. She emphasized the questions about the allegations. Those are things for my ex-husband and the other peoples in the files to answer, not me. French Gates expressed sympathy for Epstein's victims, calling his actions beyond heartbreaking and hoping for justice. She noted moving on but reflected on material struggle, including her disapproval of Gates meeting Epstein, and she reportedly blocked further contact in 2017.
I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
and I am so happy to be away from all the muck that it was there.
I have to put more words to the muck for context for our listeners. The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read
I knew it, bro. He must have been involved, bro. If you're that involved with a guy linking him up and that, bro, what else are you doing behind the scenes? If he's getting caught for that, you definitely got caught for it as well.
news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually.
Bill should never have been spoken to Epstein regardless after he's convicted of soliciting a minor for prostitution. Epstein emailed Elon Musk September 25th, 2012. If you find some time, come visit me on my island. Bring your friend or friends. Elon Musk replied positively. Sounds good and I'll try and make it. In November 2012, Musk asked what day/night will be the wildest party on your island. Epstein offered a helicopter as transport, asking how many people. Musk responded probably just him and his wife. and reiterated interest in party. Plans were discussed between late 2012 and early 2013 with emails setting potential date. Musk later cited scheduling conflicts and no visit happened. On Christmas Day, it said that Elon Musk emailed, "Do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once the kids head home after Christmas, I want to hit the party scene." He added, "The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for." Epstein responded about ratios and parties, implying social scenes.
Elon Musk, bro, if you don't know, he's a party head fam, so he's definitely been there too, bro. If you think Bill Gates, a man like that looks so mature and that he's been there, you think Elon Musk hasn't, and he was much younger then. You know what I mean? And bro, he's a party type, fam. I've seen like some clips, bro. My man, he's dancing, doing a mad thing, fam. You get me? And he's got bare girls. He's had bare girls in the past, fam. So, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if he's definitely involved.
Logistics failed. There's a second attempt where Musk emailed about being on the British Virgin Islands area over the holidays. Epstein offered a helicopter transport again, and Musk expressed interest, but plans fell through, possibly due to Epstein cancelling or Musk conflicts. One email notes Musk considered hosting Epstein at SpaceX in South California, but it did not occur.
Dear Jeffrey, from what I hear, those parties are to die for. How about an invite? Chat soon. Hey Jeff, haven't heard back from you yet. I'm launching one of my new rockets near your island, so I'll be in the area. How about we get crazy and wild? Jeffalicious, it's Christmas morning and I'm shaking with anticipation for your response. I hear that there's nobody older than 25 at these parties. Sign me up. So, a little birdie told me that Stephen Hawking was at your most recent event, and that's just a low blow.
Yeah, I heard that's a mad thing, bro. Even Stephen Hawking was at like some of the events on the island.
In 2014, in the Epstein calendars, there was an entry, reminder, Elon Musk to the island in December 6th, but Musk denied any such plan. There was no further direct emails. Elon Musk actually spoke out on January 31st after the files release, and I had very little correspondence with Epstein and declined repeated invitation to go to his island or fly on his jet. I was well aware that there was some email correspondence with him that was misinterpreted by people trying to spear my name. He added, "No one pushed harder for the Epstein files to be released than me, and I'm glad this finally happened."
But my favorite part of the Musk-Epstein emails, you ever have a friend where you don't really share the same sense of humor, but you share the same interests? And they shared the same interests.
Epstein writes him and says, "Any plans for New York? The opening of the General Assembly of the UN has many interesting people coming to the House."
Many interesting people, Elon. Wink, wink. Get it?
Elon replies, "I run and lead product design engineering for two complicated companies. Flying to New York to see UN diplomats do nothing would be an unwise use of time."
I'm sorry, Jeffrey, could you make it a little more obvious for your friend?
To which Jeffrey Epstein replies, "Do you think I am retarded? Just kidding. There is no one over 25 and all very cute."
What the f***? We've all had that friend. Why would I go to the bathroom with you to go skiing? Skiing is an outdoor sport requiring a mountain and equipment and...
But the problem isn't just Elon Musk. The newly released Epstein files contain extensive correspondence involving not one, but two current Tesla board members, the CEO Elon Musk, but also his brother, Kimball Musk. The documents directly contradict Elon's public claims about his relationship with a convicted sex offender. It reveals that Epstein was arranging women for his brother and showed the kind of conduct that would end careers at any company. Perhaps the most damning exchange occurred September 11, 2013 for Elon Musk. Epstein was trying to lure Musk to New York for the UN General Assembly opening, promising many interesting people come to the house. Musk declined, citing work demands, SpaceX, and Tesla. Epstein's response said, "Do you think I'm retarded? Just kidding. There is no one over 25 and they're all very cute." It says, let that sink in. Jeffrey Epstein explicitly told Elon Musk that these events featured young women all very cute. This wasn't a case of Musk being unaware of who Epstein was or what he was about. In that exchange over Christmas, Elon Musk himself told Epstein he wanted to hit the party scene and let loose after his kids went home, but Epstein replied, "Understood. I will see you in St. Bath. The ratio on my island might make your wife feel uncomfortable." So he's saying Elon's wife will feel uncomfortable, the ratio. Epstein was warning Musk that the proportion of young women on the island might make his then wife feel uncomfortable, and Musk didn't seem deterred.
Okay, it's not even up for debate now. Elon Musk is the biggest loser of all time. Have you seen what's been released about him from the files? Let's have a look. Question: how do you spend Christmas Day? Well, if you're like me, spend it with your family. If you're like Elon, however, you spent Christmas Day in 2012 begging someone who was a legally recognised sex offender for an invite to his island. Yeah, he spent Christmas Day begging a legally recognised nonce for an invite to his island. Why? Also, you might remember that Elon was saying that Jeffrey was the one begging him to come to his island and he was the one refusing, yet the email correspondence that has been released shows an email from Elon where he asks what day/night will be the wildest party on your island, and Jeffrey was offering him his helicopter to get people there. To make matters even worse for Elon, when Jeffrey told him that his schedule was too busy and they would have to reschedule Elon's island visit, Elon started offering up solutions to make the initial trip happen. I cannot reiterate this enough. By this point, Jeffrey had been convicted of hurting kids and that had been recognised for the last 5 years. Why was Elon so desperate to spend time with him?
On February 22nd, 2013, Epstein's assistant...
That's facts, bro. If man has already got convicted of doing weird stuff to kids, and you're still trying to pester, like harass him and say, yo, when can I come? When can I come, bro? What does that say about you, bro?
Elon Musk's office. Hello, Mary Beth. I've sent you a copy of all 3 girls' passports. Jeffrey will have his ID with him. Epstein's assistant was sending copies of the passports of 3 unnamed girls in connection with traveling involving Musk. It appeared to be related to Musk giving Epstein a tour of SpaceX in California, something Musk also denied in the past. The documents show Epstein thanking Musk for the tour in February 2013, confirming an in-person meeting at SpaceX or Tesla facilities. Epstein also asked Musk about having Solar City, electrifying the Caribbean island. Musk forwarded this request and asking someone at Solar City, the co-founder, are we in Mexico? Third parties have confirmed the relationship.
So they eventually did meet, but at Elon Musk's company, and I'm pretty sure probably after that, he went back and forth to his island.
In August 2015, there was an email saying, did you have dinner with Elon Musk? And did you explain to him the proposal and what was his reactions? This shows there was years into their relationship and Epstein was acting as an intermediary for business proposals with Musk, and others knew it. Before the files were released, Musk claimed he refused Epstein's invitation to the island. For the first few days after release, Musk again maintained he always refused the invitation, despite clear evidence that he himself had asked to come to the island several occasions. They say Elon Musk has been lying about his involvement with him. The big difference between me and you, Reed, is that you went and I did not. In fact, you went multiple times. First time was a mistake, but not the second time you went. And as well as the emails show, I obviously didn't anticipate in anything shady. I was bringing my then wife at the time. Nevertheless, unlike you, I came to my senses and declined to go. And Epstein tried to get me to go to his island many times, and I eventually just blocked him. But as for Kimball Musk, the other Tesla board member, Elon wasn't the only Musk in the Epstein orbit. His brother, who sits on the Tesla board of directors, had his own extensive relationship with him.
This has to be one of the craziest Epstein emails that I've come across so far. It directly implicates Elon Musk's brother and contradicts the narrative he's trying to push. Take a look. The file number is at the top, and as you can tell, it's from 2015. Epstein says, I gave another girl to Kimball, referring to Kimball Musk, Elon's brother, and he is thrilled. I told him you prefer dark eyes. This email is public information now, of course, but the government had it in their possession for years. Why did they never arrest anybody in these files? This one needs to be seen as well. It's from 2012, years after Epstein was already a convicted PDF file. It begins with Epstein responding to an email from one of his associates saying, Elon Musk. The associate responds, perfect. Let me know exactly what he wants. We'll organize all. Then Epstein says, I called, redacted name, left voicemail. See if, another redacted name, wants to do a massage. This makes it seem very likely that Epstein was scheduling Elon Musk massages years after he was already a convicted PDF file. Not a very good look. He was also apparently giving girls away to his brother. This of course completely contradicts the narrative Elon's been telling us, that he always denied Epstein and ignored him every time he reached out.
Epstein's assistant sent scheduling emails confirming Kimball is now confirmed to come to the house at 11:30 Sunday. There's numerous emails, November 7th to 9th, 13th to 15th, November 16th to 18th, in all different locations around the world. This appears to show Epstein coordinating a woman's travel schedule to accompany Kimball Musk across multiple places over several months.
Why in the world would the DOJ feel the need to protect Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother of all people? This is an email correspondence from 2014. We don't know who the sender is, but we do know that the people receiving this email are Jeffrey and Karina Shuliak. Karina Shuliak was Jeffrey's last girlfriend before he went to prison. Okay, so look at this. Can't wait to see you both. The flights to Mexico and drive time were crazy. I can see Kimball another time. Sure, blank, but I might have more fun driving you two crazy. Okay, now let's look at another version of that exact same email that the DOJ also uploaded, failing to protect Kimball Musk, as they clearly attempted to. Same email, not redacted. Can't wait to see you both. The flights to Mexico and drive time were crazy. I can see Kimball another time. Sure, he's good in bed, but I might just have more fun driving you two crazy. Why would we redact that? Because we already knew that Kimball Musk dated one of the girls in Jeffrey's entourage from like the 2010 to 2012 area. So Kimball was either in a relationship with one of like Jeffrey's girls much longer than we previously knew, or Kimball Musk was with multiple of Jeffrey's girls. For anyone who's not familiar with like the Kimball Musk lore, the girl who was in Jeffrey's inner circle who he dated was Jennifer Kalin. Here she is in a photo with Karina Shuliak. So Kimball Musk either got back together with Jennifer Kalin, continued the relationship much longer than we actually knew, or Kimball Musk was with multiple of Jeffrey's girls, and the DOJ was trying to cover that up.
In a separate email, Kimball wrote to a man called Boris, who was later named as a backup in Epstein's will, message received wide and clear. Seriously, I'm very happy with my time with Jennifer. She's great. Is what Elon Musk's brother Kimball had said. In an email to Kimball, CC and Epstein suggested the three of them do a Halloween together. Jeffrey could be Holy Spirit Wise Man and I could go as Baby Jesus, and you, Kimball, could go as Virgin Mary. This wasn't a casual acquaintance. There were people planning holidays together. It says why nothing will happen to Tesla after this. The Tesla shareholders won't demand accountability because Tesla's shareholders base is Musk's shareholders base. Over the past decade, Musk has systemically built a corporate structure that exists to serve him rather than hold him accountable. The board is stacked with friends and family, including Kimball, and the shareholder base is dominated by retail investors who view Tesla's stock as a movement rather than an investment. Elon Musk received those emails, he continued the relationship, he asked to visit the island himself, and he publicly lied about it, claiming he refused when the emails show he even initiated plans at the time.
The amount of time that's being wasted. You know, when Epstein was alive, like 10 years ago, nobody cared about it. but they're only doing it. But now it's really hitting back on them because Bill Clinton is such a big part of it. The Democrats are pushing it. And the problem is that it's turning out to be the Democrats that were with and conspired with Epstein. So I think you're probably going to see a little pullback from them. But think of it, they were working together to try and help me lose the election. But this is the Oval Office, so I guess that didn't work out too well.
Jeffrey Epstein actually described himself as Donald Trump's closest friend, claiming an intimate knowledge of his life, according to recordings obtained exclusively by the Daily Beast, what we need to get into here. So Epstein spoke at length about Trump with the author Michael Wolff in August 2017, 2 years before being found dead in his jail cell. He was researching his bombshell bestseller Fire and Fury at the time.
No, I'm thinking Trump killed him, bro. That's what I'm thinking, innit? Because, man was literally, he was talking to the people, giving statements out saying I was Trump's closest friend, bro. And obviously Trump was president. You get me? Or he was about to be president. He ain't gonna let this slide, you get me? So my man's be like, yo, listen, are you gonna hang yourself or can't lie, camera's gonna malfunction and you get me? Man's gonna have to do it for you. And we don't, God knows which one happened. But regardless, he died.
Recordings cast more light on Trump's long relationship with Epstein and will add to the debate over his character, especially his attitudes and conduct towards women. The tapes tell Epstein's book.
Actually, I did hear somewhere like a conspiracy. Apparently he's still alive. America have hidden him. Like I said, Trump probably respects him behind the scenes, bro. He just can't make it look like he does. And he probably, malfunctioned his camera, put another body there, took him somewhere, hid him, and made it look like, Jeffrey Epstein's dead when it's a fake body. And obviously all the soldiers, all the guards run for the president, bro. So if the president says, listen, hush, hush, you get me? They would have done that, fam.
Of the relationship between two former friends and their very different paths. One towards prison and suicide and the other towards power and the Oval Office, and his criminal conviction for paying hush money to the porn star. Epstein painted a complicated portrait of Trump. He called him charming and always fun and capable of extraordinary salesmanship and suggested he was personally in favour of Trump's policy.
God, like, these man had money, bro. These man, these big Trump, Bill Gates, all of these man, bro, back in the days, it's like even growing up, bro, like in their 20s, 30s, 40s, bro, they had money, fam. Like, bro, they didn't need to do this, It just, when they have everything, normal things just don't feel nice, bro. You need to make it you need to make it different. And to other people, that's weird, what you're doing. Because it's just each opinion, innit? It differs, bro. Like, my opinion could be bad on something, but because you do it, and I don't like it, you get me? It's good in your eyes, it's bad in my eyes. But obviously, what he's doing is wrong. But that's billionaires, rich people for you. Like, what is anyone actually surprised, bro? If you're surprised, you need to take a good look at yourself, fam, because this is going on. Still now, there's people there in America, big people doing mad rituals behind the scenes, fam. Not just famous people, just rich people that you don't know, fam. Behind the scenes, richer probably than Elon Musk that you don't even know about, bro. You know what I mean? And they're doing mad stuff way worse than this, bro. And just because they're hush, they ain't gonna get grabbed for it. And if you get me, all these main people, they're the puppets. All the people that show their face are like puppets, bro. You get me? The people that are actually running things behind the scenes, you think they're gonna want to be seen, bro? It's like gangsters, real life gangsters, bro. Like, bro, people who actually do the hits, fam, do they want to be seen, bro? No, because they know they're gonna get caught. It's the people who ain't really, you get me, doing anything for the streets. They want to be seen too much just because they know, feds can't do anything because they're not really doing anything. But the real main people behind the scenes, they're the ones that ain't trying to get caught, ain't trying to be on camera. They're trying to be on the low. You get me? Slide through, do their thing, do. You get me? And these are the same, fam. These rich people, bro. So obviously, there's a front, people like Donald Trump. You think he's the main person in America? No, bro. There's people that are way bigger than him, fam. But he's just the person that's speaking for them, technically.
Of the transgender stuff, but alleged Trump was a serial cheat in his marriages and loved to F the wives of his best friends. He also claimed while Trump has friends, he was also at heart the friendliest man incapable of kindness. And he said that Trump had undergone scalp reduction surgery for baldness and called him the Trump star. The convicted paedophile even boasted of his closest to Trump, saying that his now wife, he had slept with her for the first time on his plane. So apparently Donald Trump, for the first time with his now wife, slept with her on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. You can't make this stuff up.
I never had the privilege of going to
Brother, so he just admitted his wife now, he first slept with her on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, bro.
his island, and I did turn it down. But
I never had the privilege of going on Jeffrey Epstein's island, bro. Like, obviously he's being sarcastic, but is he really? It's reverse psychology, bro.
people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
On the flight logs, Trump flew on Epstein's plane numerous times, at least
I smell BS.
to 8 in the 1990s, 1993 and 1997, and often with family. Some show Maxwell present as well. There was no post-2000 flights on the island. A 2020 prosecutor email noted more flights than previously known or reported. In August 2025, the FBI had 13 to 16 complaints of sexual misconduct abuse by Trump, some graphic dating to 1990s or later. Some interviews mention Trump. One says Maxwell presented a woman to Trump at a party. Another recalls Epstein saying Trump knew about the girls, but the context was unclear.
The first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I've reviewed not the entirety of the files, so
you haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked and the number of
it sounds like those children being trafficked. I appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director.
These men working for Trump, bro. What else is he gonna say? He's gonna say, yeah, Trump's guilty for this. Obviously, he's trying to back Trump.
We have released every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can characterize the numbers however you want it.
Claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political innuendo so you can go out to the sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising article. And keep going, reclaiming your time, because the people of California are being underserved by your representation.
The president is not implicated. Why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released.
Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Epstein files.
It's a simple question. Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes or no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No, A, B, C,
Director,
E, F.
It sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your constituency by focusing on reducing violent crime in this country and the number of pedophiles that are legally harbored in sanctuary cities in California? I'll work with you on that.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman. Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You have not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
Apparently there was no emails directly between Trump and Epstein, but Epstein forwarded and shared news articles about Trump and policies and family with associate. In a 2011 email chain Epstein to Maxwell, Epstein wrote, "The dog that hasn't barked is Trump," implying Trump stayed silent on something, adding a victim spent hours at a house with him and has never been once mentioned. Maxwell replied she's thinking about that. The context possibly referring to silence amid allegations, and victim names have been redacted but linked to the woman that passed away. In other Epstein emails to Michael Wolff in 2019, Epstein claimed Trump knew about the girls. Another discussed crafting answers for Trump interviews. Epstein disparaged Trump but never implicated him criminally. There was an email from Jeffrey Epstein to a reporter from the New York Times Financial on the 8th of December 2015, and this is one of the most discussed items from Epstein's related document releases. So it said, "Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" The follow-up in the chain, Epstein.
But Jeffrey Epstein, this is before Trump was president in 2015, bro. He's bringing Trump's name up in an email to a reporter saying, "Would you like photos of Donald and girls in my bikinis in my kitchen?" Bro, this is why they killed him off, bro. Definitely, fam. My man had dirt, bro. They had to have him locked up, no access to his stuff, bro. And when they took all of the files and they call it the Jeffrey Epstein files, and they say they released all of it, bro, they definitely redacted all of Donald Trump's involvement in it, bro. You get me? He was a big part in it. In my opinion, bro. You get me? Don't shoot the messenger.
Hawaiian Tropic Girl and another woman called Lauren after Thomas replied yes. This occurred during Trump's 2016 presidential launch. Thomas had contacted Epstein about the juicy info on Epstein and Trump ties, referencing a 2002 New York Magazine article where Trump called Epstein a terrific guy who liked beautiful women, many of them on the younger side. Thomas replied enthusiastically yes, but Epstein never sent over the photos. Per Thomas's statement, after the release, it's unclear if the photos exist. There was actually an email where Jeffrey Epstein said, recall, I've told you, I've met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, not one decent cell in his body, so yes, dangerous. In response to questions from reporters, Trump stated, I think it's time for our country to get on with something else now, and nothing come out about me. He added that he's not read the newly released file. I have a lot of things...
Oh, 100%, bro. He took his stuff out, fam. 100%. Bro, I could just feel it, bro.
Doing, I don't know, and even dismissed mentions of figures like Elon Musk in the documents by noting, I'm sure they're fine. Trump further claimed the release absolved him of any wrongdoing, describing it as a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people, emphasizing that their friendship ended in the early 2000s with no evidence or direct communication afterwards in the files. Right now, Donald Trump is the sitting president of America, and he authorized the release of these files. He's not going to put anything in there that implicates him, and there is still a lot of stuff that is private or covered up who is even from. But he said this in a recent conspiracy to set him up, he said.
Speaking of Epstein, I will say this. A reporter named Wolf and Epstein conspired. This just came out yesterday in the millions of pages of documents, how crazy this is. Conspired against me in order to fight like hell to make sure I lose the election. That's the only thing that was mentioned about me. Now, about Democrats, some really bad stuff. But about me, that Wolf, whoever Wolf is, he wrote a couple of books, and Epstein conspired against me. So that takes care of Epstein as far as Trump is concerned. But you got a lot of Democrats out there that are very much involved with Epstein. But I'll be honest with you, you got to get back to running the country, too.
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published Department of Justice?
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines. I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else.
On this channel, we're not moving on. We want to get to the bottom of everything. These are some of the richest people in the world, but it's just a start of what we're breaking down. And the files haven't been released in the correct format that we want them anyway. We want everything released and nothing censored. Like this guy showed, there is many stuff in this that has not been put out properly.
They censored the word don't in the Epstein files, presumably because it's Don T. This is not even a joke. If you look at this page from the Epstein files, this is an email from Epstein to someone whose name is redacted. But what's also redacted is the sentence, I was going to take polo lessons in Calgary, but I don't think my body could handle it. So just another sign that these Epstein files are not at all what they're supposed to be. And I think that everyone who's taking the bait and running with it in terms of like ignoring the fact that Donald Trump's all over these, especially in redacted places that we don't even know if it's him. People are suggesting that we just assume it's Donald Trump anytime a name's redacted. And I honestly kind of agree, because he clearly had them redact his name, even though that's against the law. And I don't know what's being done about it.
Clearly, bro. If you don't believe that, you're a waste man, fam. Because that's the most obvious thing in this case, that Donald Trump was 100,000,000% involved in it. And if he is, he should not be president, bro. But obviously, as president, he's listening to all them people that own him, basically. He's doing all the right things that they want him to do. Get me, helping back in Israel, fighting all these countries, killing all these innocent people for Satan, basically, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, all these men are devil worshippers. Let's be real.
Because like people are just going along with the fact that all these powerful people are being exposed.
The files are coming out part by part because there's 3 million pages worth to get through. I'm going to keep you posted on the most juiciest and the craziest parts of it on this channel. But a lot of the privacy and covering up does need to be removed so we can actually understand who was doing what, and they need to be charged for it as well and sent to prison. With no bullshit.
Alright, so guys, that was Jeffrey Epstein files. And that's the first part, bro. I'll be obviously covering a bit more as the days goes on, because more stuff will come out. And yeah, man, I'll even make a video on the Kaba cloth situation, like the rumors around it. But bro, trust me, these man, all of them are devil worshippers, including P Diddy and that, bro. Look what they got caught for. He got caught. This guy's literally getting caught for the same thing, but on a bigger scale. And yeah, man, I got nothing else to say. But bro, Donald Trump definitely involved. All of these man who say they're not involved, Bill Gates, Elon Musk and that. If his brother's involved, he's involved. You get me? But man, it should have been your boy PP24s. Yeah, man, the world is just getting worse and worse, bro. Just, guys, please do the right thing. Turn to God. Get me? Listen to your parents. And yeah, man, just enjoy life, bro. Don't focus on this too much, bro. This goes on daily. They're just trying to distract you from the main problems that's going on in the world, bro. Just remember that. And yeah, man, it's been your boy PP24s, and I'm out here, man. Peace.